Hello everyone. So first of all, my name is Abdul Rauf, and in this video we will talk about SQL. So this will be the eighth video about web development with Python playlist. So let's start our video. So basically, we talk about SQL, but most specifically a type of SQL known as SQLite. So this will be the light version of SQL, you can say. So let's ask a question. For example, what is a data? So what is the data? Basically, data is an information, useful information that we store in raw form or like in a table form. Like we use Microsoft Excel for storing some data in table form like this, there where we have like the headers, the main columns, and then we have like the information about them in there. For example, the origin, destination, and duration is one row, and in each column we have the information about that row. Okay, for example, origin we have the country like New York, Shanghai, Istanbul, New York, Moscow, Lima, additionally were London, Paris, Paris. Yeah. Basically, with this data, we can say it will be some like airport data where you find the origin of an city and the destination of that city, in the duration, how much time it takes to arrive there. So basically, SQL or structured query language we use to manipulate data, like data like these. For example, we have like we have to manipulate data. We have to select data from here, or we have to update data, and we have to do other operation here. We can use SQL for that. So basically, SQL have some softwares like database management system software we use to uh, update, delete, or do operations in the data. There are many types of that like MySQL, PostgreSQL, or SQLite. So basically, in this video, we talk about SQLite as I already say, but there are other two. For example, MySQL, PostgreSQL, or MySQL like like the heavy data types because they use servers to store data, but SQLite use only the files to store the data. So basically, SQLite has some data types like text, numerical, integer, real, globe. So text is like the string value, you can say text value, and numerical like the floating values. Integers are the same integers like we use in the programming languages, and real are the real numbers. And below what the binary large objects. Basically, if we want to store some images like the videos, we can use the below. Below we save these types of data in the binary form. Okay. So in contrast to that, MySQL has some other types too. For example, char, varchar. These are the size we extend. For example, if we want the char size of the variable. For example, if you want some code of the airport like AR, PR, that has only like the maximum 4 words. So then we can use the char for maximum 4 words or varchar variable length of the size, and then we use the small int, big int, or int. These are the different sizes of the big ints we can use. For example, for the phone number, we can use the small int for the phone number has like maximum 11 or 12 numbers, and then we can use the other two for the int for the same integer size, and then we can use big int, float, double. Double will be the floats, maximum floats supervised category, you can say. So yeah, these are the MySQL types. So now let's see how can we create a table. So for creating a table, we can use command like create table. For example, we have code of SQL like this. So first let's explain each one. First we create table with a create table command. So it will create a table in the database, and then we name the table like flights. So this will be the name of the flights table, and then we assign some values. Like these are the values. For example, ID will be the ID of the. For example, most of the time we don't want to track the IDs numbers of the that row. For example, if we want to assign the primary key, we can use the ID for that. ID will be the unique number of uh, that specific column. After that, we assign origin will be the origin value. Then we assign the destination, which will be the destination, and then the duration of the flight. So these will be the names, and then we assign some types there for the integer for the ID, text for the origin, and text for the destination, and integer for the duration. So after that, we assign some constants like primary key. So this will be the primary key which we can assign here, and then we assign not null will be the origin. We assign the non null. So this will not be the null because it makes sense. The origin that will not be null. If it's null, then it will be not any value for us, any benefit for us. After that, we assign the text with destination, which will also be the not null, and then we assign the duration, which will also be the not null constant. So basically, there are other constants too. For example, check, which we use to check the values. Default, we just assign the default if the user didn't give us some value. Not null, which I already tell you here, and the primary key. Others are too, like unique, foreign key, and other stuff are too. So basically, after creating a table, now we have a question like how can we add the data into the table? So for this, we can use a command like insert. So basically, insert will insert data into the database. For example, we use the command like this. code like this. So first we use insert into, which will insert the information into the flights table. We assign for the, we tell the flights, and then we assign to which columns we want to assign the value. For example, we assign the value to origin, destination, and duration. So we assign the value to original, destination, and duration, vice versa. So we assign the value like using the these values, New York, London, and stuff. So now you have a question like why we need an ID for this. Basically, ID we also mention here. For example, we say that ID will be the auto increment. So basically, it will auto increment number by number. For example, if we have the ID of one, then we assign ID two to the other data, and then three automatically. So we do not have to assign a value. Okay. So yeah, after that, let's see how can we get information. Like how can we retrieve information from that table. So for this, we can use the select command. So basically, if you want to select all the data from the table, we can use select star from flight. So it will give me all the data. This is a wild card for us that will give us all the information from that data. So after that, we can get a specific columns to like select origin destination from flight. So we get the origin destination from the table. And if we want to select only a specific value, we can use the where class. For example, select star from flights where ID is equal to 3. So it will give us the uh, 3 ID of the 3 information like Istanbul, Tokyo, 700 division, the column. We get that. And if you want to use something else, for example, if you want to select a star from flights where duration is greater than 500, here we can use the if else if or greater or less than numbers like we use in the programming. So after that, we can get some value of that. Okay, so we can use other command like this for select star from flight where duration is greater than 500 and will give us, for example, both condition will be true where duration is greater than 500 and duration is equal to Paris. So we get the Paris, and we can use the or to like if we want to select star from flights where duration is greater than 500 or duration is equal to Paris. So we get the values like this. So yeah, after that we can use other command like this. For example, select star from flights where the origin in will be the end of the list. For example, New York or Lima. So for example, in one of, from these two we can get the values like New York, London, and other values like these. Okay. So yeah, after that we can use other types, other type to other function like to, for example, select start from flights where origin like percentage a percentage. So it will give the values like where the a after a some values is present. For example, like Shanghai has a A and Istanbul has a A and Lima has a A. So we can get all the values of these. So we can command use command. Then let's see some functions too. For example, SQLite also support functions like average, count, maximum, minimum, sum. There will be the average of the values, count will be the counting of how many values are there, max will be the maximum of the values, and min will be the minimum of the values, and sum will be the sum of all the two. After that, we can use update command too to we can update the data too. Like if we want to update the user's flight data, so we can use update and then the name of the flights and then set the value of that flight to 400 where the origin is equal to New York and destination. And if you didn't mention the where origin, then we will update all the values of the flight. Okay, so that's why we use where class. This is very important. And after that, finally the delete command where we want to delete the column or row table. So we can delete the rows like this, delete from flights. And if you only use delete from flights, it will delete all the database. So be conscious about that. We have to use the where command to delete from flights where destination is equal to Tokyo. So this will delete all the flights where the destination is Tokyo. So we can use other classes too like limit, order by, group by, having. These are other classes you can find. Now let's talk about the main topic like foreign key. What are the foreign keys? So basically, I already talk about the primary keys. So basically, primary keys are like the ID we assign like unique values. And after we that, if we want to use the same values to other tables, for example, if we have the flight table which will be very large, then we split it into, for example, airports and flights, two other tables. And then if you want to, for example, use the primary key from this table to another table. So then this is the primary key on the other table will be the foreign key. Okay. So now you can see the ID here is like ID and origin and the destination and the duration. And now if you want to use the airport table like code and ID, we can use the ID here. So now here you can see origin ID will be the origin ID of this and this and the destination ID will be this. So now we can find that value by seeing uh, the airport table where you can find the origin ID table and the destination ID. That will that have the many advantages like we cannot repeat the values like we repeat the values like we repeat the value of New York two times in one table, and then that is not very good design. That's why we use that ID primary key. So we split the tables into two or three. If you want to, for example, also create a passenger table, and then we assign it to the other table like passengers, then we can use their IDs too, like this, and in that we can use, we can create a table like people, and then we can use those IDs in the person ID one, flight ID two. So this is very easy. Now you can see the person ID one is corresponding to the flight ID one. So that's why we can use, and that because if you want to add more users, like if one user have the flight in one table, and then the same user have the flight in another table too, then we can use that for key for them for the relations, like one to one relationship, many to many relationship, or many to one relationship. For example, in the one to one relation, each user has each flight, and one to many, for example, each user has a many flights. Or for example, many users have the many flights. So these are the relations of one to many, many to many, many to one, and many to many. So that's why we use Persian keyboard there to start. Okay. So now you can see the user ID of two is on one flight, and four flights, and user person ID of for example uh, five and six has the same flight like six. So this is the many relationship we can use, because that's the Persian key give us that information. Okay. Now after let's see how can we join two tables together. For example, if we are table like this, and if we want to join this table to the passengers table or passengers, we can use the command like select. Then we can first origin destination. The origin destination will select from the flight table, and then we join this to the passenger table. On will be a command that we use of passenger dot flight ID to the flight dot ID. So it will join the tables by the ID. Okay. After that, we can do other joins, so like the inner joins, left joins, right joins, or full outer joins. So it will give according to each section. For example, the left section, the right section, or the full join. Okay. So yeah, after that you optimize your table to the get index. So it will optimize your table by searching on the indexes. Like we search in the book, we search the values by the indexes. Now we can do the same on the table two by using the command like get indexes name index on the passengers or their last name. We create the index of last name. So yeah, basically this was the index command or index. So yeah, this is very important function to optimize our tables to get the queries more fast. Okay. So yeah, this was all of SQL in this video. I hope you like it, and I hope I make it very easy. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.